Hello, Pamela Spence, medical herbalist here, and these are my clinic notes for the week. So it is the 11th of June, and this week's all been about bones. Honestly, it started to feel a little bit strange. So it began with myself. I am sitting here with a pair of crutches to my side because I've managed to fracture a bone in my foot. So I have a moon boot on under the table and won't be driving for 4 to 6 weeks, which is frustrating as lockdown is starting to come to an end. And I shared that, and then I heard of someone else who sprained an ankle, and someone else who'd broken a toe, and someone else who's broken a bone in their leg. And it just seems to be going on and on. I don't know what the collective consciousness is around that right now, but certainly I've been thinking lots about bones and sprains and things like that this week. So if you're one of the unfortunate people who seems to have broken or twisted or sprained something this week, I wanted to share a bit about what I'm doing, because when you look at a fracture, you maybe think that's not a place for herbal medicine, and certainly in terms of its initial treatment, it absolutely is not an appropriate place for herbal medicine. But there are a lot of things you can do, and it got me to thinking about this idea that we went through at the beginning of lockdown about what does your body need to cope right now. So I know that my body is doing a lot of inflammatory stuff, and that eventually, past the initial response, that's not going to be helpful anymore. So I'm looking for anti-inflammatory things. I'm looking for what my body needs to create new bone. And luckily for me, two of the key things that the body needs to lay down new bone is going to be vitamin C, because that is important in collagen formation, and vitamin D, because that's the main absorption of, you can't absorb calcium until you have vitamin D there, which is why they're often prescribed together. And also, if you've been following this series, then you'll see that that's a big part of our prevention strategy in terms of supporting our immunity at the moment. So high dose of vitamin C and high dose of vitamin D, making sure we're getting enough vitamin D in our body. So I'm kind of already doing that. So beyond that, what can I do? Well, we know that the bone is mainly made of minerals. So one of the things I'm doing at the moment is making sure that my body has a really wide range of minerals. So I'm taking a multivitamin on top of thinking about dietary sources of all my minerals, and herbs like horsetail. So horsetail is very, very high in silica. Silica is important because it's through all our tissues in our body. It kind of helps to make the matrix that holds us together. If you think about it, it's very structural. And so I am drinking horsetail infusion as my choice of tea this week. And also I'm adding nettle to that, because nettle is very high in vitamins and minerals that I'm needing at the moment. And the other thing I'm doing in terms of my diet is I'm increasing my protein intake. So you'll see on my Facebook page, which if you're not there, if you're watching this on YouTube, my Facebook page is at Pamela Spence Herbalist, capital P, S and H. That I often share films from my colleagues in our multidisciplinary health clinic, and sharing information around helping people manage their musculoskeletal pain that my colleagues would normally be treating hands-on. Of course, we can't be doing that right now. And so what I would say is this idea of vitamin C, D, increasing protein, taking herbal infusions, nourishing herbal infusions, eating well, are really appropriate to any time where the body is undertaking any kind of repair. So that could be muscle repair, it could be that you've been playing sports. I heard of someone the other day that's really injured their back by jumping on a trampoline with their kids. Someone else broke their wrist doing the same thing. All of these traumatic situations for the body where it needs to do some kind of repair, it's always about going back to the basic building blocks. Give your body what it needs. There is such incredible intelligence around how our bodies go about repairing. We don't fully understand it, but we do know that what we can do is give it what it needs to do its job properly. And of course, resting and icing and elevation, very important too. because my husband and I run our clinic together. He is sort of heading up the musculoskeletal team. He's also giving me magnets to work with. I find that very useful as well. And a herbal colleague and mentor of mine suggested as well adding cinnamon into the mix, because cinnamon can help with the building of bone. And of course, what you also need is really good circulation. So cinnamon is also a circulatory support. So I hope that that's helpful. I am being called to practice patience, which is definitely not my strong point. But yeah, let's see how this healing journey continues. And any of you out there that are in pain, please don't push through pain. It's a signal from your body that you need to listen up and step back a bit. Make sure your body's getting what you need. Make sure you're not trying to do too much. And if you do need osteopathic assessment and exercise prescription done online at the moment until places can reopen their doors again, then if you go to the clinic page, the Carrot Clinic, then we'll be able to hook you up with our osteopath. I hope you've had a good week. I've had better ones. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.